everyone, welcome to day 6 of World Watercolor Month. I'm already having loads of lovely splutters, which means that I have been enjoying watercolors quite a bit. We have got a few stamp sets that I will be using today. We have got florals, which is sold out, but that's the only one that is not available. The summer florals, botanical and palette swatches are all available, along with many other swatching stamp sets on my Etsy Alyona Creates, and later they will be available on my online shop alyonacreates.com. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to use the hydrangea flower from this set, and everything else is going to be from the other set. The ice cream one is coming, so let's give him a moment. Okay, hopefully it will be peacefully quiet for the rest of the video, but I'm going to use my acrylic block, which is also still available if you want to grab one. I have designed it to be ergonomic and really kind of comfortable with the wrist rotation. So let's start with stamping up our first element, and I'm just going to kind of thinking which way I want it to face, maybe slightly off to the side, and I'm going to zoom you in just for this part so you can see better. And then we're going to use all the other elements that are available. So from here we're going to use this lovely little element right here. I'm just going to kind of add it in a few areas. So the next element will be from Summer Florals, and here I want to go kind of leaf heavy. Let's go with the rounded leaf. In the previous illustration we haven't used any leaves, so today I want to really focus on kind of building all the leaves around one flower, so do the opposite kind of, and have a lot of fun with it. So next element I'm using is this one right here. And then I'm going to use this one here. Because this one is thin and kind of narrow, it's good to just squeeze into smaller areas and build from there. And like fill in areas. Oh, I need to not forget to leave myself space for the swatches. In fact, I'm gonna do it now. I'll start at the top just in case if I need to add one more, I'll have space here for that. So we can carry on building up here, maybe one up here, like so. And it's becoming lovely and wispy. So now with this element, I'm going to add it somewhere here and somewhere here, and possibly somewhere here too. Okay, so that will be it. I don't want to mess about with it any more than that. Let's start by drawing these out. So I'm going to start with the main flower and just follow the lines. Relax into this. It's a lot more enjoyable when you do it in a relaxed kind of manner. Okay, next I'm gonna do the berries. For the berries, I'm gonna just create the finer detail first, and then I'm gonna go in with a 0.5. So this is 0.1, and of course I forgot to say Do make sure it's waterproof, your liner, because we will be adding watercolor over it. So here is 05. You're going to achieve these kind of berry elements very quickly, and you're not going to use up your precious fine points, which, you know, they don't last very long. They're kind of very fine, and you want to look after them and only use them when you need to achieve a fine line, really. So swap to your bigger size liners for something that requires quick color fill. I like this berry element because it's so striking, it's super contrasting, it brings contrast to your illustration immediately. I have a couple of them in my botanical stamp set. And you can stretch it even further by, you know, like doing what I've done here, adding one to the other, etc. Okay, swapping back to the 01, I'm going to line out some details, and now I'm going to really watch it where I want which leaf to go over and which leaf I want to go under, because that is what creates a crisp and clean illustration. It basically tells the viewer that you've taken time to deliberate where you want which element to be placed. You haven't done it haphazardly, and it translates really beautifully into illustrations. So here I'm going to actually go under. Like so. It's a little bit uncomfortable for me to line out without kind of moving the sketchbook today, the way I have arranged things on my desk. I can't move the sketchbook, so I prefer to have the freedom, and then my kind of wrist moves better that way. But anyway, carrying on with just lining things out. Everything is done for you. You don't need to be thinking too much where to place what. You already done the stamping. All you need to think about is just which element to bring in the foreground and which one to push in the background. So here we go. I'm gonna also draw a line here. That's just an additional little element that I like to do. And we're going to carry on with this element right here. So here I'm going to move the connecting line slightly more down because it would look more organic. And here I'm going to make the leaf smaller so it doesn't interfere with our swatch. Okay, so that is it. I'm also going to add my signature center right here. And now onto the watercolor. So what kind of color would I like? I think let's take opera pink, and this time add a little bit of yellow into it. And we get this interesting orange, which is very, very bright. And I'm going to add it into the petals. Now, with a lighter mix of the same color, I'm going to add a bit more color towards the middle of the leaf, but maintaining a lot of the white. And now I'm going to mix the same color, just a bit stronger. I'm just going to drop it in here. just adding that kind of contrast. Looks gorgeous. I really love it. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to start adding greens, because essentially we have one flower, we've got the contrast of the blackberries, and we're going to just work on our beautiful greens. So let's just start by sprinkling the same color in different places. We are going to have a light, medium and dark values in this illustration, which is really important to keep it interesting. I also forgot to leave my highlights in the leaves, which makes a huge difference in my opinion. So I'm going to do it going forward. Okay, let's now move on to another color. I'm going to take a chartreuse and kind of add it into this color. So this color, as you can see, is a touch zestier, ever so lightly, that we can notice the difference. And now I'm going to sprinkle my chartreuse as it is on its own to bring that full zestiness, and that's going to play so well with this bright orange that has opera pink in there. We soon have to think about our middle and dark values, because so far these are pretty light, so I think we'll leave it at that. No, I need a dark one there. Okay, so sap green is a great example. Let's add a bit of sap green into that yellow mix that we have here, and I'm gonna go and add that sap green throughout again. Okay, so now it's a good time to go into a dark green. So this is a gorgeous green, and I'm just gonna mix that in, and that's gonna give us even a darker green. So I might want to swap to my smaller brush. I can also add this color into the previous leaves if I want to add a bit more contrast. If I think there's too much of the lighter color, I just can do that just to break it down a bit. Okay, and then a lighter color again into this one, just because we don't want to have two dark leaves right next to each other. So that is it. Nice and easy. Few green colors, one orange, and it's a lot of fun playing with your watercolors like that. You can also go ahead and kind of add some marks if you wanted, or just leave it as it is. Okay, so I've mixed the pink. So here we go, our opera pink. And yellow. And then whatever greens we used. So I've used my chartreuse. Chartreuse is a part of a ultimate color palette that has 5 of my favorite colors that I created the right tones that I like to use. So they're great convenience colors. We have got here sap green, and some of the Magello, I think leaf green it was called. and also the very dark green that I use. So I'm gonna stamp another color. Okay, and then it was this beautiful dark green. It's so much better to swatch the colors as you go, because I tend to forget what kind of color I used, especially if you do so many of these illustrations. Okay, so here we go. We've got our colors swatched out. I hope you enjoyed this illustration today. I think it's gorgeous, and I can see it like on a girl's face illustration with a little cluster on the side. In fact, I might start doing that for upcoming days. So we've got day 7, day 8. I think I'll keep it just flowers, and then maybe I'll start playing around with it a little bit more, just to add some more kind of twist to it. Let me know what you think, whether you're enjoying this series and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.